Hey yo, what's good? What's good, y'all? It's good. We're back. Anti chain is here. So pretty good, pretty good. Gotta give me gotta give me a haircut. Yeah, I definitely gotta give me a haircut. Like I just came out of work like a couple hours ago and I just got freshened up. So I'll probably just chill out for a bit. But I wanted to talk about today about I wanted to talk about something very, very, very inspiring. So I was at work today, right? And I had an older fella who worked in a security company for about 30 years, right? And we were talking stuff, and he asked, "Is this is what you go do for the rest of your life?" And you know, this wasn't like a coworker to supervisor conversation. It was like a ground to ground, like a ground to ground conversation. Like I only knew the guy for only about like a couple of days because he just came in, right? And I asked, what do you mean by that? It's like, you don't look like the kind of guy that's going to work in security forever. And I'm like, what made you say that? He said, the way how you walk and the way how you present yourself, you don't seem like the kind of person to sit around and do nothing. Like, and he told me that he's been observing because we're the overnight shift, right? And it'd be dead as hell. But he's been observing me for the past couple of days, and he noticed that because security jobs are not your it's not like a standard based job. It's not like something that you would really want to go for, man. It's like security job, how he described it. Before I even get to that, right? He was saying that like, oh, he noticed that the way how I interact with clients and the way I interact with the tenants and the way how I am, he's like you could really use you could really put something into good use, you know? And he said that I'm not really needed here because I said I've been working security for like about 3 years, and he said 30, and he said, but he's he's a retired he's retired and stuff, so security is probably just a pretty basic job for him. It's nothing that's well. He described it as like security is little money. You know what I mean? That's basic money. These are the kind of jobs where I'm sorry, sorry, I just had to unflip a book for a second. One of my books, for some reason, one of my old journals was bothering me. Like, there was something there that needs to be adjusted. Let me move up a little bit. All right. He was saying that like Right. He was saying that like security money is basic is nothing. Is only for people who just want a quick dollar, who needs quick cash. It's not the kind of job you want to look into long term. Although yeah, although yeah, they do get paid more. Yeah, you could become a supervisor, you get paid a couple extra dollars, but it's not worth it. Hostile environments, in my opinion, is not always the funnest place to be. Security jobs are typically that. Security is the most easiest job, but it's also the hardest job in the world. Actually, I don't want to use the word world like that. I don't want to use that term so loosely, but it's not, and not in the world, but it's one of the most easiest jobs, but it's one of the most hardest jobs. It's not because of the task. Most of security tasks, majority of the time, you're just sitting around, you're monitoring or patrol. Like most of the time, I'm sitting down on my post journaling and writing down things I want to do, like because nothing really goes on like that. And whatever something does goes on, it be something very small, and I'll just be like, yo, nah, man. And it really sank to me. That whole conversation we was having about really resonate with me. So I'm in a train station, right? And I'm going home for a day. And I noticed that I've seen another man. He looks like he worked at another security company. And I've seen his face, and he doesn't look very happy. And I'm like, shoot, what am I? I'm like, shoot. And this is where I'm going to end up for the rest of my life. And I said, man. But moving back to the story, right? He said, what you're working on? He said, I'm doing electrical engineering. He said, that's a bachelor's thing or an associate's. I said, originally it was supposed to be bachelor's, but then I changed it to an associate. He said, you should get a bachelor's then. But but the most important thing he really wanted me to walk out of way was that you gotta find your place, and you gotta find your place and where you're needed the most and what makes you happy. And I genuinely like engineering, but I don't like the electrical side of things. I think the components with the computers is just not really for me. I'm not a big computer tech nerd like anyone else. Like, don't get me wrong, like I like tweakerings and shit, but I'm not that super deep in lore. Like I'm just it's just not really in me. I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna find out exactly what I want to do. I'm gonna pursue for something that I believe that's gonna make me happy. And I'm not gonna do it just for the money, man. Like, listen, the money will always come. It's my happiness what comes first. But I don't want to sit here and be like, oh no, this and that. But I want something. I want to take this video and kind of make this kind of like make you walk away without something too. But for me, that's where I'm heading. That's the direction. I'm just focusing on that. My only priority now is just paying off my previous semester, since financial aid is basically that as well. So I'm gonna have to do that so I could basically get back to school. I wanted to tell my mother about it and my father, but I already know the kind of answer. So I'm gonna keep this one to myself for the time being. You know what I'm saying? And see where it goes from there. I don't want to put myself in a situation or in a predicament where basically like I'm giving myself ideas. I tell somebody and they just tell me something completely different, and all of a sudden I don't do it. Like, I'm not the kind of person who wants to sit here and do something. Oh yeah, like I'm not the kind of person that I want to say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, but never do it. You know, that should be another idea for another video, man. Talking about actually doing it. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna keep this one a little short. I'm not really much today, but just, it's this is what been on my mind the whole night going into the morning, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I do really appreciate for those who does stick around, even though it's just like it's just basically like zero views and stuff. But I'm still keeping it positive, still keeping it strong. No matter how I see it, I really do like to interact with y'all. But I know that day will come. I just gotta be patient. I just gotta leave everything to Allah, and everything will. And I put everything to, you know, what I'm saying, I put everything to Allah. I put everything to Allah. He takes care of the rest. Yeah. But other than that, though, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I'm gonna go ahead and rest this one out. And when I wake up, that's what we're gonna start. That's what we're gonna do, man. We move in the shadows. I guess I'll see you around. No crazy outros, but remember, y'all, we move in the shadows, so we can protect the light. I don't know. I'll figure out some new quote because the grind don't stop till it stops is, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, but see you around.